right. A couple things to chat about here with subtracting fractions. They're actually quite similar to adding fractions. When we look at subtraction of our fractions, really it's, as long as the denominator is the same, it's a really simple process. I think every one of you could tell me without too much thinking, what is 5 minus 1? And if I show what 5/6 looks like, so 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, and 5/6. That's 5/6. Now if I take away one of those, okay, and let's just pretend, and my technology is not great, and so I'm going to just pretend that I erased this one here. How many am I left that are shaded? Well, I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4 that are shaded in, so I'm left with this. So, I mean, in terms of showing it without actually erasing it, one way is to X it out like I just did, and I'll show another way on the second one here. So I'm left with 4/6, and I got to figure out, is this lowest terms? And in this case, no, it's not. These are both even numbers. All right, so I'm going to divide both sides by 2, and I'm writing that divide sign on the wrong side. So we're going to go 4 divided by 2, I'm left with 2. 6 divided by 2, I'm left with 3. And in lowest terms, 4/6 is equal to 2/3. Alright, so let's move on to example number 2. I'll show the other way of, instead of Xing it out this time. So 3/4 minus 1/4, so I'm going to start with 3/4. Here we go. 1, 2, 3/4. I'm going to take away 1/4. Draw an arrow showing that the 1/4 is leaving. If I had to show 2, I'd draw arrows away from 2 of them. 3/4 minus 1/4, I'm left with 1 2/4 left. So I'm left with this. Here it's pretty easy to see that although, yes, 2/4 is how many fourths I have, it's also pretty easy to see that this is the same as half of the bar is shaded. Or, if you want, 2 divided by 2 gives me 1, 4 divided by 2 gives me 2, because they're both even. Alright, moving on to example 3. Alright, so 1/3, it's easy to model. I'm going to take away 1/3, there it goes, bye-bye. And I'm left with nothing. Now, I guess if you want to show that you understand, show me that you understood that there's nothing left, we can circle this just to show that it's empty. And of course, this is going to be equal to 0. I suppose you could say 0/3, but simplest terms would just be 0. All right, I circled this here just to show that I did show my work. I didn't get lazy. I wasn't, distracted halfway through and forgot to do it. That's what we're left with. All right. This takes us on then, the next page here. What did you notice about subtracting fractions with the same denominator? So, well, to subtract fractions with the same denominator, we are going to subtract the numerator, that's the top part. Numerator, I'm trailing downwards here, and no way I'm fitting denominator here. We're going to keep the denominator the same. You can write it on the lines, I don't doubt. I just am struggling on the screen here. That's a very pretty R that I ended with as well. So we keep the numerator the same. Sorry, we subtract the numerators and keep the denominator the same. Let's try that again. All right, couple for you to try here. And again, we want to write your answer in lowest terms. So again, if I wanted to show this, what I'm doing, I've got 4 minus 1/5. That's what we're going to have because the denominator stays the same. What is 4 minus 1? Well, 4 minus 1 is 3. And I'm left with my answer being 3/5. Right. Second one here, same thing. My denominator is going to stay the same. It's going to be 12, so I can already write that down. And my numerators will change. 11 minus 7. Ooh. It's sort of a 7, sort of a minus sign. We're left with 4/12. And then we go, oh, wait a minute. These are not in lowest terms. They're both even. I could divide them both by 2, but I also look at this and say, hey, wait a minute. 4 is one of the factors of 12. That means I could actually divide them top and bottom both by 4. Right? So part of this deal here in terms of fractions, people get scared of them. It's usually the simplifying part that people are scared of. And fractions, no bones about it, they're going to test to see if you know your multiplication facts. Because if you know that 4 times 3 is 12, this is a really easy question to simplify. You're like, oh yeah, 4 times something gives me 12, that's 3. Okay, good, I'm done. Right? So my final answer here is going to be 1/3. Right? That's in lowest terms because both of these can't be simplified anymore. And that takes you on to the last 3 here. All right, so these last 3 I'm going to be asking about in class. I want to see you hold them up in front of your camera, or you send me a picture of these ones here. I will show the answers, but I want you, to show me the work in terms of how you got there. Right, so I've already simplified these. And no, I did not use my calculator. All right, so your assignment for day 1, section 6.3. So again, if you don't have the textbook, you're going to have to find that 6.3 on the bottom part of the odd numbered pages. It's going to be somewhere past 220 to 221. This is for Aaron and Jakey. For the rest of you all, page 220 and 221, questions 4 to 9, and then do 2 and 3. That's day 1. Day 2, we've got some adding and subtracting problems, and so three questions on page 215. That's from section 6.2 actually, and then a couple more questions from this same section here, section 6.3. Questions 10 and 11, and away you go.